Several people told me a story about some folks who heard heavenly music at 2 in the morning on New Year's Day. Furthermore, they all said, these people have heard it again every 8th day since. They described exactly when and where each hearing occurred. Some people laughed it off as the trickeries of the wind, but I was reluctant to accept or dismiss the story without evidence. Heaven and earth are home to many mysteries. We all know the stories of dancing girls who pour the morning dew from high above. Perhaps the spirits who observe from the corridors of the heavens, seeing a peaceful world, called for music to rejoice. And perhaps we who failed to hear it were deafened by our own suffering. I invited a few friends to visit my hermitage the morning of March 19th, and we spent the whole night listening. By the time first light broke in the east, we'd heard nothing. Then, suddenly, we heard singing from the plum tree outside a window. Just a bush warbler to sing morning lotus sutra to this suffering world. Kobayashi Issa. Moving into spring proper, signaled by the spring equinox, you can get around to feeling like you need to react to some sort of impetus, some sort of urge forward to do something with yourself, seeing as everything is coming into life again after a period of dormancy. It's not unfounded. It is a natural reaction. It's your body waking up. It's perfectly natural. That does not mean that our reactions to it, with our very inflated egos, being human and all, we often lead ourselves into various deluded ideas of what is good for ourselves and what we need to do and what proper action really looks like. We run ourselves ragged, looking for the best way forward. It's not about reaching for something. It's about waking up. Waking up. Only the action of waking up to yourself. Okay. Waking up to yourself. Spring equinox is really the ideal time to dive into this kind of work, to dive into this kind of energy. In the Celtic calendar, spring is split between 3 observances. Imbolc, Alban which is the vernal equinox, and Beltane, which is really the culmination of all these energies bringing you into summer, which is a different deal entirely. It's, as I say, a time where you're looking for an impetus, and you may be driven towards seeking this impetus from certain supernatural agencies. When I say supernatural, I don't just mean ghosts and religious paraphernalia and whatever. I mean anything that's just kind of outside of your routine, anything out of the ordinary. If you're looking for a sign from the heavens, something that's just going to spur you on that isn't present in your day-to-day life, I would argue against that. The vernal equinox is a really good time for appreciating the miracles that are easily observable. And it is easily observable. It's the one time, well, one of 2 times in the year, the other being the autumn equinox, where the sun rises exactly due east and sets exactly due west. And of course, as the name suggests, day and night are perfectly equal, striking a balance. What we're going to try and do is establish this balance between the supernatural and the perfectly natural, or the familiar and the unfamiliar. We're just going to try and marry them in a way where, much like the little bush warbler on the plum tree, became a kind of miracle for Issa, for heavenly music in birdsong. Making sense? I hope so. In any case, this is going to involve certain work in grounding you with the elements and with the directions. So, just settle yourself back, let your body relax. Just let your body relax. We're going to reorient you. Reorient you just to get a nice perspective on the directions, so you know your east from your west, your north from your south, your up from your down. Just so you're nice and steady in your mind to go forward into the season. So, keep in mind then, you are an elemental being. I want you to picture your body as earth. Your body as earth. Your body as earth. I want you to picture your emotional capacities, your afflicting passions, as fire. As fire. As great, great fire. I want you to picture your wisdom, your knowledge, both intrinsic and the stuff that you've learned through your life. I want you to picture that as water. As water. As water. And I want you to take your willpower, that real driving force, your willpower as air. As air. As air. Now, how are you going to manage these? Well, it's quite simple. If your body is earth, don't riot it up into an earthquake. If your afflicting passions and emotions are fire, don't turn it into a great conflagration that's going to consume you. If your knowledge is water, don't turn it into a tempest or a tsunami. Just let it rest, clear and pure and still. And if your willpower is air, well, keep it taut, keep it strong like a string that sings. But don't snap it. Don't torment it. Don't break it with too much force. Now, with that all still in mind, I want you just to quiet yourself down. Quiet yourself down. We are going to address each of these directions with a little thing called the eggshell method. And we're coming up for Easter as well, very shortly. You might have heard the spring equinox referred to as Ostara. That's kind of mistakenly done. Ostara is mentioned rather briefly in Bede, I think. Anyway, it's just a single mention. And she was conflated with Easter, not with the spring equinox. But nevertheless, we're coming up for Easter time, so we'll get eggy. We'll get eggy. Settle yourself down. And it might help if you orientate yourself to the directions where you presently are, just so you can address them one by one, which we're going to do now. Because I know that east is over that away, west is over that away, south over that away, and north over that away. So, to the east, we address our willpower, remember? And we're going to say, I break through the shell of my limitations of willpower and courage. May my inner strength support me and move me along my path. And I want you to visualize a bright and vibrant sun just rising, just rising, just rising, in clear, pure air. To the south, I break through the shell of my emotional limitations. May my feelings be flexible and flowing and strong, bright and harmonious with my path. And I want you to visualize a great fire rising up, a strong flame, a strong purifying flame that's not running riot. It's not a forest fire or anything, but a nice single jet, pure and clean. Moving around to the west, and I want you to think I break through the limitations of knowledge and thought. May my thoughts nourish my being and guide my path, and visualize those clear, still, beautiful blue pools which nourish you and hydrate you and dissolve all of your worries. And then face to the north and say, I break through the shell of my physical limitations. May I be strong and healthy, manifesting with care and responsibility the life I was born to live. And visualize for me a big, strong mountain. A big, strong mountain. That's you. A big, strong mountain of black stone with a crown of snow. And just rest with the mountain. Rest with the mountain. Wonderful. And now all I'm going to do is call in the goddess of the earth. This is part of the Anglo-Saxon metrical charms. It's the very first one that you'll probably come across. It's kind of salvaged from a Christianized version. It was initially a petition to this goddess to bring fertility to the fields, probably about this time of year. This is only a small section, but I like to use it as an invocation, so here we go. And please forgive any pronunciation issues. Earth, 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 mother of earth, may the fertile one, the lord of the invocation, grant fields growing and sprouting, increasing and strengthening, with shining shafts of bright crops, and the broad barley crops, and the white wheat crops, and all the crops of the earth. Grant to him, O Lord Ingui, and all the blessed gods, that this tilling be protected against any enemy, and it be victorious against any evil, of witchcraft and malevolence seen throughout the land. Now I ask the ruler who shaped this world that no woman be so word-strong, nor man so clever, that he or she should be able to turn aside my words thus spoken. When the plough is driven out and turns the first furrow, then we say, Hail be thou, Nerthum, Earth Mother, be thou growing in Ingui's embrace, filled with food for the use of men. A field full of food for the race of men, bright blooming, may you become blessed in the name of the gods on this earth on which we live, the gods who made these lands. Grant growth to us as a gift so that each grain may come to us for our use. Let it be so blessed. Let it be so blessed. Let it be